shit. I be with some real hitters, staying with that camera shit. Cause they really out here in the field and they be slamming shit. Top, top, top.
Yo, yo.
Yo.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, I'm got my boy Jeremy here. But before we get to this, I'd like to say shout out to Vegas. This is Eric Stackz from My Rap Mentor, representing Hot 702.5. Let's get it. Today we're going to talk about, well, as we know, you've never been on the show before, but you watch it a lot of times. Definitely. The whole goal of the show is for me to bring on entrepreneurs, rappers, successful media people, and I want to get behind their, I want to get behind like their mind state, whether their success, their failures, what make them tick. So we're going to get into that. But before we do that, we're, matter of fact, you know what I mean? Follow me on IG, ERIC_STACKZ. You can also find me on Rap Mentor on IG at MYRAPMENTOR. Also, don't forget, check us right now on live on Facebook at Hot 702.5 FM. Let's get it. So, enough about me. Tell them where to find you on social media.
Rukkus219 on Instagram. You can also catch me, same thing over on Snapchat. Hit your boy up, always on there. Stay active.
Okay, so we're gonna start. I want the viewers and I want the fans to know where you're from. So, tell me where you're from. Where you from?
Okay, I'm originally from Hammond, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 30 minutes away from the south side of Chicago.
Chi-town.
Yeah, buddy, Midwest in the building.
So, how long you been out here?
I've been out here since 99.
99? What made you move out here?
It was actually family. It was a family choice.
So, how do you feel, man? How do you feel living here, man? How do you feel?
Man, there's no other place like it. To be 100% with you, man. There's no other place that you can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go get a beer or
yeah, bro.
go get a Four Loko or like a bottle of vodka or something like that.
Me, whiskey. Hey, it's definitely, especially from being from Midwest. For those who's not like from the Midwest, it's a totally different lifestyle, man. Like I don't even think I can go back, bro. I'm not even used to like you said, you can get up randomly and get some drink, get some food. You can't even do that where you from. Shit closed down early. Danger and shit.
Man, in certain parts of Indiana, man, you can't even buy alcohol on Sundays.
Oh, yeah. I remember one time, like, me and my guys, we tried to go and get some over there. I don't even know why we was over there. Well, I lived close, like, in between, and you couldn't even get no alcohol on Sundays. That's before I even drank like that. So, how long you been? Okay. This is what I love about you, man. You're a music person. Like, we talk a lot, and I love when you're really detailed into music, even past rap, down to like the genre of different like rock and pop. And take me back to when you was a shorty. Like, what inspired you to even get into music? Like to like say, hey, you know what? I think I can do this. What inspired you?
To be honest with you, I grew up listening to a lot of stuff. I had, different family members, who had different tastes and everything. So I was always around, different kind of, genres growing up. So for me, I had, my older brother, showing me rap, same thing with my cousin, then I had, my grandma and grandpa, listening to like folks like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin.
The
then,
classic OGs.
You got, my mom who was like into alternative and stuff. And then you got, my aunt who was like more into like pop and like R&B and country. So it's like a mix all over the place.
Oh, okay. So I see how, that kind of makes sense by like how your music came out so diverse. You probably did it on accident. So how long did it take you to get good? And when I mean good, at least to feel like you can compete with the big boys. Like, how long do you think it took you?
To be honest with you, any artist is going to tell you, oh, man, I've been like that since, day one. But, humbly admitting, in my opinion, I felt like my music didn't get good necessarily till about 6 years ago.
6 years ago? Oh, so you've been there for a long time. See, he put in work, not like the new era. Like the new era, they rap for like 3 months. Boom. Like, no, work, consistent work. So 6 years to like get to that point where you felt confident, like I'm that dude. So I don't want to not mention that you do audio engineering. So when did you decide to do that?
You know, I actually picked up audio engineering about 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
So I started messing around, you know, with Pro Tools, you know, watching my boy, you know, do my engineering throughout all the years and everything, you know, and, you know, I attended a couple classes with him.
Okay.
You know, while doing all that and, you know, watching, I was like, you know what? I think I could do this.
What made you even want to do it? Was it on accident or?
You know, it was one of those things to kind of bring another skill to the table. That way it's not like, okay.
Yeah. And speaking of skill too, not to cut you off, speaking of skill too, I don't know if I mentioned, we're going to be talking about how to get like your fans and your like local support and from friends and family and so on and so on. So that's going to be one of them. So stay put, listen. But yeah, you said to add another skill to the skill set. So how long did it take you to get good at that? You're pretty dope at that too, man.
You know, to be totally honest with you, you know, at the beginning, you know, it was trial and error, but you know,
you had to go through the trash points.
Man.
How long? Okay, how long? Because you know, I got a lot of like most of the people that watch this, at least my fans, they're like, you know what I mean? They're like new artists, like they haven't even performed a lot of times. Like you see me on my other one answering questions. So, how long would you say you was in like the trash?
you know, to be honest,
how long?
You know, to be honest with you, I was in the trash bin for like a good year, for like a solid year. And man, it's funny when I go back, you know, to those projects and everything. I was over EQing, you know, the vocals, so it sounded like you were on the telephone.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. So like it was bad. There was no bass in your vocals.
You said you was in the trash bin for like a year.
Yo, and it was funny because, you know, like certain, you know, like sessions, you know, songs I'd be scared to do because it's like, okay, all these tracks to where I remember I recorded the one homeboy. I'm like, okay, so how many tracks you need? And this is just for a verse. You know, my guy, you know, was doing harmonies and everything, and he's like 16 tracks.
Oh man, that still sounds scary to me. I can barely mix this board.
Man, it was one of those things. Like, man. Oh man, like, but you know, after, you know, messing with that, recording him is what finally made me confident. You know, and they're like, okay, I can actually do this and make it sound dope.
Oh, you was talking about, was it your singer boy you was telling me about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shout out to my boy Taj. You know,
and I don't know if I failed to mention to the rap mentor community. He's a hip-hop artist and a audio engineering, makes good music. We're going to get more into that, but I don't know if I failed to mention, kind of jumped there, you know. I feel like I know you. You know I know you, so it feel like we just sitting down. Yeah, I feel like we just sitting down talking. I forget that we even recording. But yeah, so you say you was in the trash bin for about a year. Okay, when it how long into the next year when it felt like you went to your spam folder and you took yourself out of that trash bin?
You know, to be honest with you, everybody needs some, you know, that motivates them. For me, I actually started on, you know, a group album at the time, and it was a project that I actually cared about. So like I was like dead serious. So like I was spending like hours and hours, you know, like recording, you know, mixing and mastering, making sure everything's good. You know, like it got to a point where I was trying to find something wrong with the song.
I mean, then again, like, I mean, that what made you really good now probably too. So, but definitely. I know you're a perfectionist. Yeah. Definitely, so like, have you ever conquered yourself from being a perfectionist? Did you find a balance of being a perfectionist but not overstressing? I know I had that problem. I'm a perfectionist. Sometimes it's stressful, and sometimes I try to tell myself to ease up, trust yourself. Like, do you struggle with that? And if so, how do you balance the two?
You know, to be honest with you, I still kind of do. But I actually learned to like walk away from it for like a quick, you know, for like, you know, a little bit, or even, you know, put it down to the next day. You know, to where it's like you can come at it with, you know, New Year's, you know, a different mindset. You know, you're more open. Sometimes you get caught up, you know, in like doing this to where you take away from the actual recording. You know, to where I actually had one of my homeboys is like, hey, this would be dope if you didn't do this to it. You know, so take this off. Okay. And he's like, don't be scared to let the track breathe. Okay. So I was like, you're right. So finally, when that time came, you know, started doing, you know, more recordings and everything, experimenting, you know, just in spare time. I mean, there's times where I just recorded a random song.
Uh-huh.
I never put it out, because I was in the trash bin era. But
hey,
you
everybody was trash at one point. Not right now, though.
But it definitely helped. Just experimenting again.
So another thing I respect about you a lot. You're a very self-sufficient person. Like, you do the mixing, you do the videos if you had to. Like, you'll do whatever as much as you can. Like, what made you think, like, did you do it on accident, or was you like, you know what, I want to be self-sufficient in my creation process as much as possible? What made you think of that?
To be honest with you, throughout the years, and everything, I was like, it'd be cool, to, bring, this person to the table and everything. But, as an artist, you start, you realize, like, some people, are unreliable.
Majority,
that's,
especially we starting off.
You know what I mean? Especially, like, if you have a lot of people that, like, they have separate lives and everything.
Yeah. Some people's not on purpose. Yeah.
I can't, I can't knock, personal life, or anything like that, or, like, or even, if it's, an opportunity, to get, paid.
So what advice would you give, like, let's say, if you was talking to little Jeremy, just picking up a mic, if you was talking to yourself, what will be some advice, like just some short advice that you would give, like a young artist that's got that hunger like you, but he's young, as far as like to get the ball rolling or getting started?
Stay patient and stay in-house. That would be the two things. Don't really rely on anybody, especially when it comes to, like mixing your stuff, shooting, your videos, or, editing your videos, like make sure, you're able to do that yourself to like a degree. Obviously, you're going to reach a point, where it's better to like have a professional, but try and do the majority of it yourself. Yeah. That way, at the end of the day, when you're showing your product off, there's that sense of pride from it. Like, I did that.
And you get a lot more, I think, whether you realize it or not, what helps you get good too is having your own equipment. You got to practice every day. Opposed to me, I didn't start off on my own equipment. So, like, I felt like I was a natural. And I probably start off pretty good than most people because I studied a lot. But it probably took me a little longer because I had to go to other people. So, it was stretching out the practice. So, I do, like, when you say, like, get your own equipment. And, yes, it doubles up the speed even with writing and learning how to construct good music and so on and so on. So, what would you say most of the artists don't have money, or they do, but they don't realize they have money? So, okay, what would be the first, like, what was the first piece of equipment you decided to buy and why?
The first piece of equipment that I actually bought was, it was an Inbox 2.
What is that? I don't know.
That's
audio engineer for dummies. I don't know that.
That's a Pro Tools interface. So, I just realized that there's a camera right here. So, my bad, guys. Probably been looking at the back of my head this entire time, so it's all good. But it was an Inbox 2 with Pro Tools 7LE. I bought it off eBay used.
You can look back right here.
So. Oh.
Is it? Well, cool. I don't know where it's at. It don't matter. But
right, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
So Pro Tools LE. I bought it off eBay used and everything, and that's when.
Oh, that was like your first like.
It's like mixing station. It's here. So. After that, I actually bought like a $50 mic. It was a MXL, I think, 990, but it was a cheap mic. And then
good enough for them starting off $50.
And then like I bought like a $10 like mic cord. So like it was
out the bando.
Yo,
the trap
so
studio.
Like it was definitely a budget. It was a budget studio. Like I think I spent like altogether like $200. And the speakers is what cost the most.
How much the speakers cost?
I think I spent like $80 on them, and they weren't even official studio monitors.
They wasn't?
No, they were computer speakers.
They spent the 80, so they was definitely decent. But even then, probably doing that probably helped your skill level. It's almost like if you're a musician, like you can't learn how to play an instrument if you don't have it, even if it's the cheap stuff. So even though you ain't, you ain't invest like you do now. I sing your stuff now. Now your stuff is like, But yeah, it's just about practicing and stuff. So like, I know you got a new album on Spotify. I heard like a lot of it I'm still listening to some because I listen to music a little different. Like, you know what I mean? I usually listen to like piece by piece. I like to break well, the type of artist you are, I like to hear it and break stuff down. You know what I mean? So I listen to like 95% of it. It's a really dope album. It's on Spotify. Tell them where to find that, man. Tell them where to find
you can find it on every streaming platform. The album is called J Rukkus Sucks.
Give us a backstory. It must be like, what?
You know, to be honest with you, originally I was going to call the album Progression and Controversy. You know, because, you know, around the time, you know, I started working on the album, man, like I built up, you know, a little bit of a presence. Not on Instagram, it was more on Facebook, and it was just trolling people, you know, kind of getting a reaction, you know, out of everything. So, like, every post I was doing was, like, just mad comments, you know, like, and I think I made 98% of my friend list mad.
Damn, for real?
Yo, like, it was, I woke up and I was ready to offend somebody.
I woke up and I ready to.
You know, so around that time, you know, like a lot of
was
people,
this young Rukkus or what? Or
this was Rukkus in his 20s, but
low,
you know, still, you know, still growing Rukkus. But what actually made me change, you know, the album title to J Rukkus Sucks is because just, you know, the reaction from it, you know, was a marketing technique, you know, just wait a minute, he's calling himself whack. I gotta hear this, you know what I mean? And
I better listen. Maybe he is, maybe he's not.
You know, and the whole objective is they're gonna listen to this album and it's not gonna suck.
Yeah.
So
that's what got me too when you, like, when I first met you and you told me the name or whatever, it was like, I was like, why would he say it? I did kind of like, it made me want to check it out, and it was like, it was actually the opposite. It was actually really fucking good. So yeah, so you told them where to find you at. Also tell them where your YouTube at, man. Tell them where the YouTube.
You know, got YouTube videos up there that is just J Rukkus. You know, you can, I got one music video I recently did a couple months ago. It was the introduction to the album. You know, had to do that, you know, just to keep him, you know, occupied until I put, you know, a official video out. You know, it's still, you know, still in the works and everything. It's just, you know, scheduling, you know, getting around to that, you know, concept of the video. I mean, I could go out there anytime with the camera if I wanted to, but I want to make sure it's right. You know, I don't want to look like I just pulled out, you know, the camcorder from like 1980 and
1980 camcorder.
You know, the audio's out of sync and you know, all that. You know, I got you know, like my girl or my mom screaming at me in the background, you know, or anything like that. So, you know, I'm not trying to have that. I at least want it, you know, to look different, you know, look decent.
Yeah. So since we talking about the music, you know, I usually wait to the end, but I figure it'll be a little better. Like, don't stay tuned. We definitely finna talk about how to get. Because I know a lot of, I used to struggle with this a lot. I'm pretty sure you have in your journey before you got fans and stuff. Like, I know a lot of, like, local artists, or even up-and-coming artists, they struggle with getting the support from their like, friends, families, and fans. So we definitely gonna let you know. But right now, we're gonna play a little bit of music. So stay tuned.
Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. Rain, what's the movie gone fishing? Hit the club tonight, we pulling bitches. Got a new swag, plus the fit look vicious. Turn it on my phone, cause my side bitch tripping. Banking, we're riding in the city. Shocked out Jameson, yeah, we getting litty. Found a bad 1+2, they looking pretty. Thinking in my head, maybe one hit it quitty. She whispered in my ear, said her head ain't sickly. And single tonight, and she ain't stickly dickly. On my way home, we started moving quickly. Proceeded getting dumb, baby, work her tongue swiftly. R.I.P. to the pussy, it's Hirsch time. Bend that ass over, have you feeling like the first time. Clock in, baby, know it's work time. Told her get on top, baby girl, this is your time. Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. cup, she gon' fall in love. Beast pill playlist, yeah, we turn it up. Neighbors knocking too bad, we don't give a fuck. I'm zoned in, bring some pre-rolls. Took a couple shots, we need 3 more. I'm talking raging, going beast mode. At my spot, chilling with some freak hoes. 2 girls, 1 mattress, so you come to Festus. Her face, chest, target practice. POV, got my phone, make them both an actress. Have her screaming, oh yeah, like Macho Madness. Your girl feeling Randy, bitch, I am a savage. Send the pussy my condolence, I'ma close the casket. Way I melt on the tongue, you think my dick is acid. Burn a rubber through a magnum package. Call a man just to clean up the damage. Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Yeah, damn, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Yeah, damn, she gon' scream my name. Yeah, damn, she gon' do a thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Get down, baby, gon' do a thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Get down, she gon' do a thing. Get down, she gon' scream my name. Get down, she gon' do a thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Get down, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, baby, scream my name. Get down, baby girl, go do your thing. Face down, ass up, she gon' scream my name. Get down, she gon' do a thing. Get down, she gon' scream my name. Get down, she gon' do a thing. Get down, she gon' scream my name.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was hot. That shit was hot. Like those are singles. I'll brag for him. He humble. I'll humble brag for her. Those how you write singles. That's how you write singles. Tell them where to find it at, bro. Tell them where to find it again.
You can find it everywhere, man. You know, Spotify, Apple Music. You know, it's J Rukkus, JRUKKUS. The album is hashtag SUX. J Rukkus sucks.
Yeah, man. What made you be? Just one quick one. We're gonna get into the concept, but what was the? How did you think of it? What mind state was you in? Was it just?
Oh, the title?
No, I'm just talking about like the song real quick. I'm just curious.
You know, to be honest with you, I actually when I first heard the beat, I was trying to think of a concept. So, you know, I sat on the beat for like a day, and then I woke up. Like literally, I woke up. I think I was on like 4 hours of sleep, and then I woke up, and you know, I just said I think I'm always like mumbling lyrics to myself. So like,
yeah, I do that too.
You know, so to where
I woke
up and like the first thing I do was walk my dogs, and I think I told my dogs to get down, and like, you know, and yeah, and I was just like, get down, and then I was like, get down. I need to go do me real quick before we go on this walk. And like, so then, you know, like the concept like just started, you know, coming together. I was walking the dogs.
All right,
like,
well, definitely, y'all definitely check that on Spotify. Tell them where to find that on Spotify one more time.
You know, it's under J Rukkus, JRUKKUS. The album is Sucks. Hashtag SUX.
So now we're going to get into the concept of how to get like your local scene, your friends and your families to support you. I mean, the reason why we came up with this, we had like a little, as we do a lot of little personal discussions, and a lot of artists seems to struggle with having, you know, support from their peers and their local scenes. So one of my opinions is, I'm gonna be 100. Some of this y'all may not like. First you have to be seen in a local community for one, and even then, not just for the local reasons. Like one thing I realized too, like your friends and family, they want to see you actually working.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I mean, what do you think about that? Like prime example, have you ever seen someone say like, okay, even when me and you met, like when one of the promoters you knew, he told me you did music, and I told you. So I was like, hey, yeah, I do music. Like, did you really take me serious?
You know, to be totally honest with you,
keep it 100. Like before you knew me and knew I was serious and working, when I said it, what was your first initiative? Like your first?
You know, to be honest with you,
you hurt my feelings. I'll get you after the show.
When
I just keep it 100 though, for real. Keep it 100.
So to be honest with you, when someone tells me, you know, they rap, my reaction is, oh God, another one.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. You know, like I love supporting, you know, the local scene. You know, no, I don't mean, you know, nothing mean by it, but
yeah, I think it too.
To be totally honest with you, everybody's doing rap. You know,
yeah.
I mean, your cat, you know,
Yeah.
your mom raps.
Yeah.
Presents at Christmas,
Yes.
but everybody raps.
Yeah, because usually rap do kind of got a bad stigma. But, like, even by that being said, I actually think the same thing, too, not another one. The only reason why I even asked him, because someone that was, like, in the semi in the industry recommended him, so I knew even if he wasn't good, at least he was probably serious. So what we're trying to say is, especially my newer artists and a little bit more experienced artists too, like a lot of times why you don't get that support by your friends and peers, because they just don't take you serious. Like, you might be talented, but a lot of times they haven't built like the proper connections, or even, you know, built the trust with the people to even take them serious. Because like you said, everybody do rap. And to keep it 100, yeah, man, I like this. A lot of rappers come off like haters to other rappers.
Oh, definitely. Rappers are
Gotta
very
stop that.
They're very closed-minded. You know, even if you're doing something different, you know, it's just in this very unwilling to grow mind state. You know, to where they're over here trying to, you know, do this like very underground, you know, style to where it, you know, in my personal opinion, you know, it just, you know, it doesn't appeal, you know, like not everybody wants to, you know, sit there and, you know, and contemplate life when they put on a record, you know,
like a lot of rappers, I mean, now there are a few, and what I've noticed is the more established rappers, or at least semi-established, they tend to not be as much as, at least the ones I met, they don't tend to hate as much, but I know like the ones that that's coming up, they kind of come off like we was talking last time. I think what confused, not even just young rappers, but like even more experienced rappers, I think what they confuse is, I think they confuse the sport side of rapping and they mix it with the business side.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't mix the two. Like, do I want to be the best artist?
Yeah. Everybody wants to. You know, everyone. You know, everybody wants to be number one. But
that don't mean you take that type of intensity to the business and like, you know what I mean?
They take the battle rap approach to it. You know, to where it's you know, I'm the best. Even, you know, it could be somebody in a suit. You know, the guy just does numbers. You know, and, you know, deals. You know, with the business side of everything. But you know, the artist, you know, treats them, you know, as another rapper.
Yeah, you got to stop, like, my artist, you have to stop, like, you have to have good characteristics. At the end of the day, what I realize is every rapper wants someone to support them, right? But the same artists that tend to say that be the ones that don't support other people. So a lot of this, like, like a lot of people know, my fans know, like, I like to mix life and music and entrepreneurship all in one. And that's even in life. Like, you can't always want something but not willing to give. Like, one thing I like about you, when you met me and you realized I was serious, you know what I mean? I was serious about my craft. You always looked out for me. Like, you never asked for nothing, and it was genuine. Like, you didn't hate and vice versa. So we naturally built that support for each other, and it wasn't fake. Don't be fake. Don't do fake support either. I don't like that either. People can read that. But yeah, a lot of times it's just about supporting other serious artists that's, you know what I mean, in your circle. Like, stop hating. Please.
Exactly. Be you know, be more supportive, you know, especially, you know, if it's a friend of yours, you know, like you know, real friends, you know, actually want to, you know, even if, you know, they're taking up yoga, you know what I mean? You want them to be, you know, the best yoga person, you know, they can be, you know, instead of just be like, you know, even if, you know, whatchamacallit, even if they're you know, just
you just ultimately it's about when you're starting off, like, it's ultimately about supporting and stop hating. And two, like, stop expecting people to do stuff for you. Like, before we even got to this concept, you heard him when he was preaching self-sufficiency. He said, yeah, at a certain point, certain things you might have to outsource, but you have to have the self-sufficient mentality. A lot of artists have a problem with, like, let's say you're out here, you're doing your thing in the city, you're doing your thing outside of the city even well, whether people know that or not. You know what I mean, making moves. I'm pretty sure you get this a lot. A lot of, like, you know what I mean, not to disrespect them, but not as established artists that hit you up. And they're probably, oh, let's work. And we turn them off. They always take it personal. No, it's just like, you got to think. He has a lot of artists hitting him up every day. Obviously, he has friends. He has tons of artists that he's friends with that are actually established too. It's going to be kind of hard for him to work with the really, really little small guys. So you got to stop taking they got to stop taking stuff so personal.
Definitely. It's more of a, you know, progress of growing. You know what I mean? To where, you know, like, hey, you know what, you're a cool cat and everything, you know, it's nothing personally against you. It's just, you know, for me, working, you know, doing work with you right now, you know, just, you know, isn't the best,
Yeah,
you know, look to do,
right
you
now,
know,
yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'd be, you know, the one carrying you on my back versus, you know, we're helping each other out.
Yeah,
And,
value for value. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I'm
and
glad you brought it up.
another thing that, you know, artists, you know, have a terrible, you know, habit of doing is, you know, like, yeah, you know, let's, you know, I'm going to push the product and everything, but you know, at the end of the day, you wind up doing, you know, all the work yourself, you know, to where they're not, you know, putting any promo in or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, there's, you know, there's been a couple times, you know, where you know, I was working, you know, with a couple cats, you know, I was the only one putting in work. You know, I'm the only one, you know, carrying my weight around, you know, like I'm over here, you know, actually, you know, talking to people, building relationships,
hands,
you know,
doing
like
things, yeah.
you know, even, you know, off stage and everything, you know, people, you know, came up to me, you know, oh, you know, good job, you know, this and that, you know, like I always made sure, you know, I chopped it up with them, you know, just a little bit, you know, taking pictures, you know, hey, even, you know, having a drink with them.
Yeah,
you know?
just building that trust and building that relationships with his local community, his peers. That's why people tend to that's why people when you need support. I notice most people that rock with you, they always got you because he built those relationships. And a lot of times the reason why you don't get support is a lot of times for one, well, it could be you're just not that good. That can be one. I mean, that's just the truth. You could be not that good. You know, that just could be the sad truth, but you can get good. And then two, you probably don't support other people. I know a lot of artists, bro, like in my earlier days when like they used to be like, I used to always just, and me, I don't try to ask nothing from no one. I don't expect them to do. Like me, I don't ask for money, boom, boom, boom. Sometimes I ask for a share. So I remember back in my day, like when my little early days when I first started rapping, I'll ask people to support and they'll never do it, right? But then when I eventually got to a semi-established situation, now everybody want to ask me to support them. But why? Now I'm not gonna do it. Like you wasn't there for me when
you weren't you weren't supporting me, you know, like just having that face there, you know, like you know, it's dope, you know, to have, especially when, you know, you're trying to push, you know, a project, you know, or even a single.
Yeah.
You know, and everything. And a lot of artists, you know, are only, you know, there for them, you know, for themselves instead of, you know, actually, you know, like, hey, you know what? I got a whole team who believes in my product, you know, so you can't convince nobody that, you know, you're dope if, you know, you got your own peers who don't believe in it either. You know, so it's, you know, like, oh, I'm dope, you know, if you got, you know, like group of people behind you, you know, it's a little harder to do. So building, you know, those relationships, you know, with, you know, new people, you know, even, you know.
Hello. Somebody on the line? Hello. Somebody on the line?
Oh, yeah. Is this 7025?
Yes, sir.
It is.
Hey, my name's Alex P. I was just listening to your show, and I just wanted to say, y'all speaking nothing but straight up truth, like straight up. Like I was just saying this to like my engineers about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just I was just saying like everybody wants support, but nobody wants to support each other, and especially out here in Vegas. Like we all know that it's hard to be well known, especially out here. But like I just feel like if we all just get over trying to be the number one, and I feel like if we all stop trying to be stingy with the throne, and we all kind of just put that energy of trying to bring each other down and bring each other up, we can all just be shining. We could all be superstars by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Especially when you're from.
I don't know, man. I just want to say, I didn't really call to talk. I don't really like to speak a lot, but I was just saying, I just wanted to say thank you guys for just talking about that straight up, because I was kind of feeling down about that. Because I'm an artist out here too in Las Vegas, and I'm doing my thing. And like God is just like blessing me. Like I'm able to make it on the R&B charts, like and everything. You know, like I just, you know, I feel like I don't have much support from people, but I mean, I feel like all the support I need is just from God and the people who listen to my music. Definitely. I kind of do sometimes get upset because I'm not really, you know, worried about people I don't know, but it's the, you know, the artists that were telling me, go ahead and do this, you can do this. And now that I feel like I'm doing it, that they're kind of just backing down and they kind of like hating on me now. They're talking down on me, and you know I understand that that's just part of the game. But just I feel like everything you guys were just talking about on the show really just made me kind of get over it. And I just want to thank you guys so much. And I really believe, I'm a strong believer of God, and I believe that God put your guys' show in, you know, in my feed just for him to just, that was just him speaking, telling me, you know, it's going to be okay. So that's all I really caught to say. Thank you guys so much for that.
No problem, man. Definitely, you know, just, you know, keep pushing, man, and be patient. Be patient with the progress. You know, don't get discouraged.
Oh, most definitely.
Like you know, you got this in the bag, bro.
Yeah, definitely. When you watch this over, like, follow me on IG at ERIC_STACKZ, and we'll talk. All right, man.
All right, thank you so much, bro.
No problem, bro. Be easy, bro.
Oh, I didn't even know the phone was ringing. I was confused. I thought somebody read it up there.
No, that was dope.
Hey, don't judge me. I'm still new here. Don't judge me. I was confused.
I was actually looking at the phone too. I was just like,
I forgot that.
For some reason, I was low key like expecting like an office phone. You know, like
Don't judge me. Office phone. That's so dated. You know, bro. Like that's dated, bro. Office phone.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, glad I can help. Yeah, see, like as the gentleman was saying, like a lot of artists, his voice sounds familiar. I probably heard him before.
Hey,
but
you never know. Vegas is a very small city.
But as you guys watching, like a lot of artists, they go through it, and a lot of times is what I also say about that is like he was saying, like, you know, definitely keep your faith, and also too is sometimes you just gotta go out and get it popping somewhere else.
You know, there's nothing wrong, you know, like, you know, always, you know, trying to do, you know, the city or state that you live in, you know, but you know, sometimes, you know, in order to grow, you know, especially as an artist, the thing, you know, is, you know, try checking outside, you know, like, you know, like
you got to
go to the next city over, you know, go, you know, to the next state over, you know, from us, we got California, which is 4 hours away. We got Arizona, which is 2 hours away. You know, we got, you know, Utah, you know, we got Idaho, you know, like.
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes even if sometimes it can be as small as even going outside your circle. Like, I know a lot of times, like, when I was back in Chicago, it was kind of difficult. Like you said, some people got life situations, and sometimes people just don't want to rock with you. Like, I don't know the reason, and you can't predict the reason sometimes, but sometimes you got to go outside your circle. Even if you can't, like, afford to even leave, like, where you're at, sometimes you just got to go outside your circle and get that support from outside. That's another thing where sometimes they just don't take you serious, because at the end of the day, it's a human nature thing. They know you, they love you, they you know, they may love you, but they don't take you serious. So sometimes you just got to go out, get yourself popping.
Exactly.
Yeah, take
you
you
know,
serious.
Build that own fan base, you know, actually reach out, you know, to different people, you know, don't rely on your circle, you know, build those relationships, you know. And
you may have and I'm pretty sure they may have a few, like, I know, like, even with me, there are a few people, like, back in the shot that believed in me, even before I even made it all the way happen, that always gave me supportive words. So it was a few, and you know what I mean, just focus on those few and go outside sometime. Now, what you was saying? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you good.
Yeah, but you
you know, build those relationships, you know, you know, try to, you know, hold back saying, you know, I do music, you know, at first, you know, actually just, you know, try and actually, you know, build that relationship. You know, the number one thing about people is they love talking about themselves.
Yes.
You know, so
no one cares about you.
You know, so, you know, try and get to know them before, you know, you expect them to try and get to know you.
That's a good one.
You know, actually, to the point to where before, you know, the music comes and everything, you know, it's just be like they're actually, you know, invested in you as a person. So, you know, once they, you know, they do that, you know, it's just like, hey, you know what? Oh, I heard you do music. You never even told me.
Yeah, you met
know?
like that. Actually, someone else told me. We didn't even tell each other we did music. We was just cool. And honestly, we only knew because one of the promoters. So yeah, a lot of times, you just gotta, like, especially for, like, you know, the gentleman that called. I used to go through that a lot, and one of the things I learned, like, I mean, I don't know the circle directly. It could be a couple reasons. Maybe they don't take you serious. They could be jealous. Maybe they're just too stuck on themselves. I don't know the reason. I try not to predict reasons, but I'm pretty sure he's a good artist. So if you know you're good, like, focus on the internet. Don't even, like, I stopped focusing on the people that don't support me because they used to discourage me, and I start focusing more on, like, the ones that do and finding new supporters. Even your fans, like, it's almost the same joke. I don't treat my fans like fans. Like, I don't know if you've seen the last show I did with Marcus, the social media guy. We were saying, like, talk to your fans too. Like treat them like
interact with them.
You're really good at that. You're really good at that.
To be honest,
even
with
in person,
too. At the beginning I wasn't. At the beginning I wasn't.
You was a selfish rapper, shaking my head.
It was bad. To where like I already felt like I was famous. You know what I mean? Like I didn't do anything big or anything, but I already felt like
you got
I was
your
famous.
first little 10K views on the SoundCloud. Like I'm
man.
jaded by success.
It was very
What made you switch your mind state? Like it takes a hard pill to swallow too. Because that's a character thing. So what made you switch it?
To be honest with you, just, it took growing as a person and actually, sitting back, looking at other artists, just be like, yo, they actually got people that are, like hardcore into them. I was just like,
and in the back of your mind, they're not even as talented. Not to knock them, but
they're not even that good. And, I'm over here, killing them. And, like your fan base ain't even appreciating, what I'm doing, even though it's 20 times better than yours. So, it was one of those things where it's just like, all right, let's actually, take a different approach.
Yeah, you have to give to, I won't even say, how people say give or receive. I don't believe that because a lot of times, to be 100, most people don't have the same intentions as you, but I believe you have to give to increase your chances of receiving. And you will receive from the right person. Like, it's not about having the most necessarily. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going through that, like, definitely, like, you know what I mean? Start supporting the people that support. Just start supporting the ones that support you. You might have to go out and find new people to rock with. Maybe it's time to change your circle.
Exactly. I actually had one of my homeboys. He brought a couple people out to the show. I never met these people or anything, and they were the nicest people.
They rock with you.
They stay rocking with me, and the dope part is as soon as I got off stage, they were just like, man, like you're dope. I can see your passion, on stage. Like, at first we were kind of skeptical. We just, we just came because our friend was coming.
Yeah, as they should be.
And I was just like,
you should
totally
be skeptical.
cool, but I actually, appreciate, taking the time, out of your day, come and see me. And I actually kicked it with them, I actually went to a bar with them, and actually, bought a round,
bought a round.
You know what I mean? Just actually getting to know them. And, my homeboy is just like, go to the bar with them. He's like, I promise they'll be at every show. And I was just like, you're right. So, me and my homeboy actually linked up with them, and to this day, they still rock with you.
Yeah. Like, stop thinking like fans and think like, friends. Obviously, well, I'm gonna say friends. Obviously, you're gonna see a lot of your fans, but even then, like, hit them up, DM them. Like, all my fans watching, I DM y'all as much as I can. Like, obviously, I'm working on stuff and going for my dreams. But when y'all hit me up, I respond. Sometimes I hit y'all up. They know it. Y'all know I ain't bluffing. Y'all know I ain't bluffing.
Hit them with a comment. Hit them with a like.
Yeah, comment back. You know what I mean? That's the same thing. Like, you not only want to support people. Sometimes support ain't even necessarily money or even in person. Just little stuff online. Like, you see them grinding, doing stuff on their page, give them a comment. Like rappers, artists.
You got this. You like,
yeah,
oh man, good.
Yeah,
good
it's just
shit.
at the end of the day, we're a community, and we have to act like that. Like, we're probably like the only culture. I'm pretty sure there's other cultures. I'm not like no master at every other culture, but I think the hip hop culture or the more urban music culture, we're probably the only culture where. Well, I ain't gonna say the only because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of hating stuff on the top end, but they care a little more about business.
Yeah.
But
it's all about
we're
money
probably on the lower end. We're probably one of the few that kind of act against each other in a sense.
It's a rush to get to the top, but
which is fine. I get it. Like, okay, if I could be like the hottest guy in the world, of course, yeah, I want to be. I always use this for an example. It's like baseball or basketball. Like, okay, yeah, you're trying to be the best player, you're trying to win the ring, but at the end of the day, you don't hate on the next team member like on your off season or
exactly
or like
that's
sport
why
and the personal and business side is two different mentalities.
Behind every great there's a big team, people
Yeah.
like Mike Tyson, he had his trainer. You know what I mean? You have people like my man on the Patriots. Tom Brady.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Like he's got the whole
you just gotta
Patriots and
support.
the coach.
Support and ride together. Support and ride together as much as you can, and stop hating on the next artist. Like, stop. It's nothing wrong wanting to be the best, wanting to be the top. That's music. That's the sport. But when they need somebody to go to an event, if you can bring 3 people, like.
Bring a couple
Yeah,
people
like,
through. Don't Just as long as you're able to show face, I guarantee it, they're gonna show face, at your events.
Yeah, and if they don't, cool. Like, don't even take it personal. Like, give them reasonable doubt. Maybe they're busy, but if they don't, cool. Don't take it personal.
Exactly.
Just find people that has the same intent. That's all it really is, man. Like, you just have to give, and to get back on, like, because he really felt like he was hurt by that, and he sounded familiar. I probably heard him before, but I'm pretty sure he's a good artist. Yeah, my recommendation, I don't know your whole squad or the whole situation, but I'll say you might have to start finding new people to add to your circle.
Just see who else is out there. Because I've actually done shows.
Mm-hmm.
I've done shows where I only have 5 people,
Mm-hmm.
and there's everybody else's, fan base and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I felt some kind of way because, I didn't have, that much of a
Mm-hmm.
crowd. And, I felt like I wasn't getting a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
Other rappers were only, feeling the music, other
Mm-hmm.
than, people's was it dope? Was it good? I actually asked one of my homeboys,
Mm-hmm.
Camino. I actually did the show with my boy Camino. And I was like, yo, how'd I do? And he actually, gave me a hug. He's like, bro, he said, as long as you're happy with how you did, man, he's like, don't worry about what, whatever, who else, whatever.
Yeah, man.
Else thinks, so.
Yeah, especially when you're from a city that is not a lot of people getting on. You definitely want to take advantage, of it's easier to connect with people, so you definitely want to take advantage. And if your circle don't rock with you, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. You're around these people, you expect them. You might have to start finding a new circle, or maybe, like a lot of times too, maybe they're good brothers and sisters and cousins, but your business don't match with y'all personal relationship. I had to learn that too.
Family and business don't mix.
Yeah, so maybe they're probably the best, like friends, family, uncle, cousin, and blah blah blah. But maybe they're not the best people you want to support your music. Maybe they're not a fan of your music. Sometimes it's just not a fan. Like I'm from the hood, so like the hood. I know people don't know it that don't know me because I don't look like I'm from the hood. You think they really? A lot of my family, well, probably some for you think a lot of my peers like really a fan of what I do. They probably respect it and they understand it is good, but I doubt that I speak their language to the core where they can become fans.
I actually, I actually had one of my my best friend's mom. Shout out to my boy City. His
City,
mom,
City.
But
gotta get City. You better come City. Don't play.
Definitely, we'll get him out.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna drive you out.
But I actually had his mom, straight up tell me, she's like, you know what, you would be a really dope artist if you didn't cuss so much.
Mm-hmm.
And, back then, every word out of my mouth was fuck. So it was.
Rukkus.
Oh, my bad.
No, I think you can cuss on it. You can do whatever.
Okay.
Just
My
don't be
bad.
super nasty on here. I'm trying to keep it clean, keep it neat. But yeah, what you were saying? What you were saying though, like so.
So like it was very, I was very vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
At a point to where just like I'm not really saying nothing except
Mm-hmm.
I'm just cussing.
Yeah. How long did it before? Because we almost about to wrap it up. So I definitely gotta let you shout your social medias out. But just because I want to help the brothers and see, call this perfect. So how long did it take you for at least your like immediate circle to start like at least respecting what you do, as far as like taking you serious and knowing that you're really going for this and you're not just playing around?
To be honest with you, like everybody, that's known me and, that's been around me, throughout the years and everything, always knew, I was always about music,
Mm-hmm.
So like the serious side was always there, but I felt like, they didn't take me serious until, I started, working on my own.
When you went solo?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
To where, I was doing everything, depending on myself, like as far as, anywhere from, engineering, recording other people,
Mm-hmm.
And actually, shooting videos,
Mm-hmm.
And all that.
Mm-hmm. Mine's actually backwards. I always had a decent fan base online before I moved here, but I don't think my peers honestly start respecting me, knowing that I'm serious, until maybe I moved here. And partially could have been my fault because I'm not really big on posting everything I do on social media. So partially could have been my fault just not showing the process. But yeah, I think that's probably when I felt like, so we all go through it. I mean, so
Definitely
like
we're in a day and age, especially especially, you know, as an unsigned artist that, you know,
Yes.
they want to feel like they know you.
Uh-huh.
You know, even if they don't even live in the same, you know, city or state as you.
Yes.
They definitely, you know, they want to be able to like follow, be like, hey, you know what? I never talked to this guy a day in my life, but you know, I feel a connection with him.
Yeah, a lot of times,
You
like
know,
to keep it 100, a lot of times it's not even about the music. It's really, do they like you? Or I mean, honestly, a lot of artists need to realize this too. It's mostly, do they like you as a person? The music is just a bonus, because like you said, everybody do music.
You know, I had, you know, a bunch of people, you know, currently, you know, even, you know, when I, you know, dropped this album and everything, like, oh, I didn't know you did music. And, you know, for me, I was like, yeah, you know, I did music, you know, it was more of, you know, nonchalant, you know, about it, you know, but it wasn't more of a boasting, you know, kind of way, you know, just kind of be more humble and just, and then, you know, you get better feedback from
Yeah,
them, you
yeah.
know,
So we definitely gonna talk some about this on personally. I might have to have you on my little separate podcast too, so we can, you know, the My Rap Mentor podcast. Definitely. So tell them where to find you on social media again.
It's gonna be Rukkus 219, so JRUKKUS 219. Find me on Instagram and Snapchat. I'm mostly on Instagram, so you know, find me on there. You know, hit me with the follow. I got you on a follow back. If you want to slide in my DMs, you know, you could do that. But you know, just nothing like that. You know, you know, be nice. You know, I don't do nudes. You know, I might send you, you know, like a picture of this guy, but you know, don't send nudes.
Doing a thriller pose, like nah. But yeah, you already know where to find me. Find me at on IG, ERIC_STACKZ. You can also find me at my other page, My Rap Mentor, where I give artists advice, so on and so on. MYRAPMENTOR. You can also find me on YouTube at ERICSTACKZ TV.
Yeah.
Frequent.